আগলৈকেতো আৰু ভয়াৱহ পৰিৱেশ হৈ আহিব এতিয়া
একো ঘৰ মানুহৰ 20-25 হাজাৰ টকা গুচি গৈছে
আমাৰ যিখিনি খৰচা গ'ল সেইখিনি বিনিময়ত যদি আমাক অলপমান চৰকাৰে সাহায্য কৰে আমি বহুত আনন্দিত হ'ম
During the monsoon season, Assam always finds itself in the headlines and for good reason. Every year, thousands get affected by floods. But this year has been different. Sure, for a week in August, there were floods in around 20 districts of the state. But this monsoon season will be known for the lack, not abundance, of rains. This year, it is the drought that will make the headlines, not the floods.
Right now, we are in Kurua village of Assam's Darrang district. A dry spell this year has cast a gloom on the farmers of this village who are still recovering from the losses of the pandemic.
The rain that Kurua villagers were counting on did not turn up this year. Sureshwar Das, a farmer, belongs to one of the 4,000 families in this village that are facing a hand-to-mouth situation due to the drought.
আমাৰ পানীৰ অভাৱত খেতি কৰিব নোৱাৰি এই কঠীয়া এতিয়া ফুকাই যাব অৱস্থা এতিয়া গৰু এই যিবোৰ গৰুৱে নাখায় ঘাটো গতিকে এই চাওক আমাক তুলাইছোঁ কেনেকুৱা লাগিছে এই কিমান এয়া কঠীয়াৰ পৰিৱেশ অৱস্থা এনেকুৱা গতিকে চাওক চৰকাৰে এতিয়া কি আমাক কৰিছে চৰকাৰে আমাক এনেকুৱা পৰিৱেশত পেলাইছে গতিকে আমাৰ গাম খাবক আছে খেতিৰ লাইনত গাম খাবক আছে বা অফিচাৰ কিছুমান আছে কৃষি বিভাগৰ খেতিয়কটো আমাক অফিচাৰ আমাৰ ইয়াত নাহেই গতিকে তেওঁলোকৰ কোনো পৰামৰ্শ নাই আমাৰ খেতি সম্পৰ্কে খণ্ড গাম খাবক পাতি দিছে তেওঁলোকে আহি আমাক আদৰ্শ দেখুৱাব লাগে বা হেৰি কৰিব লাগে গতিকে তেওঁলোকৰ কোনো এটা হেৰি নাই কিন্তু নহা বিনিময়ত আমাৰ আজি দুখীয়া ৰাইজৰ অৱস্থাটো এই পৰিৱেশ পৰিছে আহি
Although the Indian Meteorological Department hasn't yet announced a drought emergency in Assam, but data from the department indicates the state witnessed 40% less rainfall from March to May this year in comparison to the previous years. A comparative analysis of the average pre-monsoon and monsoon rainfall between 2017 to 2020 and 2021 shows a declining trend in rainfall this year. Maneswar Das is the sole earning member of his family of 5. His reservoir of grains, which is locally known as Than Bharal, is otherwise always full, but it has hardly seen any grains this year.
ক্ষতি বুলি কওঁতে ধৰ খেতি বাতিৰ ওপৰত বহুত ক্ষতি হৈছে গড়ে 7 বিঘা মাটি বহু কষ্টৰে ৰুইছিলোঁ কিন্তু এটা ফলত বৰষুণ নাই তাৰ উপৰিও বনৰীয়া মহ মানে হাইনিকাই গোটাখিনি তানে শেষে কৰিছে
পইচা কিমান গৈছিল
পইচা গড়ে মোৰ 12-14 হাজাৰ মান টকাৰ ভিতৰত এখিনি হৈছিল আৰু হাল মাৰা
এতিয়া কি কৰিম বুলি ভাবিছা
এতিয়া মই এজন পঞ্চায়তৰ এজন মেম্বাৰ এটা উপায় নাই পঞ্চায়তৰ দৰমহা পাতি আমাক কোনো দিয়া নাই তাৰ ফলত মই নিজে কাঠ মিস্ত্ৰী কাম কৰোঁ আপোনালোকে চাই আছে দেখি আছে এই ঘৰতে কাঠ মিস্ত্ৰী কৰি ফেলে এনেকৈ মানে কিবা কৰি মানে নিমখে বান্ধে কিবা কৰি খাই আছোঁ আৰু
While the percentage of sown area in Darrang until 23rd August is 94.31% on paper, the farmers' narrative from Kurua village is quite different.
আগলৈকেতো আৰু ভয়াৱহ পৰিৱেশ হৈ আহিব এতিয়া
কেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ
কিন্তু মানুহ খাব নাপাব যে খেতি নহ'লে মানুহে ক'ৰ পৰা খাব খেতিয়ক মানুহখিনিয়ে আৰু কিবা অলপ উৎপন্ন হয় তাৰ অতিৰিক্তখিনি বেচা বিক্ৰী কৰি হ'লেও চলে এতিয়া সেইখিনিও যদি নহয় বেচিবতো নাই খাবও নহ'লে মানুহখিনিৰ অৱস্থাটো অলপ
শোচনীয় হৈ পৰিব আৰু
About 300 kilometers from Darrang, Musafir Kumar from Kheruni village in West Karbi Anglong has similar concerns. Due to insufficient rains this year, he could not even cultivate enough to feed his children.
যিটো খেতি কৰিছোঁ আশা কৰি আমি এইটো ধান খেতি কৰিছোঁ আৰু খালি ইয়াৰে নহয় আমাৰ এইটো মাটি খোলা খেৰণি এইটো হাৱাইপুৰ জেংখা আম পাথাৰ এইবিলাক ধৰি চব আমাৰ তেনেকৈ ধান খেতিটো কৰি হৈছে কিন্তু চব মাটি ফাটি গ'ল পানীৰ সুবিধা নাই বতৰো এনেকৈ হেৰি হয় যে ভালদৰে বৰষুণো নহয় এইটো আশাতে আমি হেৰি কৰিছোঁ যে 2 একৰ হেৰি পাম মুঠি এনে আধি চুক্তিও কৰি হেৰি কৰিছোঁ যে নিজৰ ল'ৰা ছোৱালী পঢ়িবৰ কাৰণে হেৰি কৰিছোঁ যে 2 এক মুঠি পাম কিন্তু একেবাৰে এতিয়া আশাই আমি এৰি দিলোঁ যে ধান খেতি কৰিব পাৰিম আমাৰ এইপিনে ইণ্ডিয়ান নালাৰ হেৰি সুবিধা আছে কিন্তু চৰকাৰে আজিলৈকে এইটোও কিবা সুবিধা দিব পৰা নাই
The main rice growing and the most important season for the farmers in India is the Kharif season. Abundant water is the ideal condition for rice farming. For Darrang district, rainwater has deviated as much as 94% in March, 57% in April, 50% in May, 35% in June, 10% in July, and 3% in August. Until August, there was an overall deviation of 28% from the normal rainfall. At least 18 districts of Assam have experienced over 19% deficiency in rainfall until August. As per the Government of India Drought Manual of 2016, the Agriculture Department of Assam declared a drought-like situation in 5 districts, including Golaghat, Hojai, Kamrup Rural, Karbi Anglong and West Karbi Anglong. 4 factors are considered while deciding if a district has been hit by drought or not. These include area coverage in the district, rainfall, vegetation index, and soil moisture. West Karbi Anglong is among the top 5 districts with the maximum number of functional irrigation schemes available as of March 31st, 2021. Despite this, only 54.18% of the agricultural land had been sown this Kharif season due to deficit rainfall. The situation is quite similar in Dhemaji, where only 57.5% area could be sown despite having 247 functional irrigation schemes. Bonajit Hussain, a farmer and a political commentator, says that Assam is already witnessing a decline in the number of people practicing farming, raising concerns if the state will lose more farmers if the low rainfall trend continues.
This year the acreage of paddy has definitely gone down, so the cumulative output of paddy from Assam will definitely go down. If this pattern continues, then we will see that production will continuously decrease if there is no intervention from the government. And the agricultural sector in Assam is already in distress. People are moving out of agriculture. I mentioned earlier that 84% of people in Assam live in the villages. But at the same time, if we look at the recent statistics, we will see that now around only 34% of people are directly engaged with agriculture. So if there is no intervention and this pattern continues, then obviously more people will come out of the agricultural sector.
Farmers who depend on rain-fed agriculture are highly vulnerable to climate change or rainfall patterns. However, irrigation facilities stand a chance to mitigate the agricultural risk and cope with water scarcity. On paper, there are 2,038 functional irrigation facilities in Assam. But most farmers still do not have access to such facilities, either due to faulty engineering or a communication gap between the farmers and the officials from the Irrigation Department. Kurwa is also facing a similar situation, where Rs 100 lakh has been allotted for the renovation and extension of the lift irrigation system here. But the ground reality of the village is quite different. Initiated under the Centre's Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sanchay Yojana in 2016, the project was scheduled to be completed in 2020, but never saw the light of the day.
Had this lift irrigation system been functional, the farmers would have had some respite in this drought season. But as claimed by the farmers, the system has been almost non-functional for years and years now.
Irrigation, if we kind of look, if we look at the last state development report published by Planning Commission, then Planning Commission, now Niti Aayog, if we look at the last report on Assam, you will see that on the chapter of agriculture, on the very first paragraph, it says that after 1954, the irrigation data produced by Government of Assam is not reliable. So this is a Planning Commission report. So what does it suggest? It suggests that the irrigation department simply doesn't function. The irrigation department, it builds canals in some of the paddy fields in different parts of Assam, but those canals never become functional. So irrigation department becomes a department which generates only contractual construction work. It doesn't benefit the farmers at all, because all the canals they build, they are all non-functional.
Meanwhile, the Assam Irrigation Minister admitted that irrigation facilities in the state are not in good shape, and the government is now focusing on improving the productivity of the existing schemes.
Irrigation facilities are not in very good shape in Assam, and somehow we are not able to provide sufficient water from these schemes which has been implemented during the dry season. But now we are giving emphasis that how to improve the productivity of the schemes. So I feel that next few months will be very challenging, and we are ready for it. Irrigation department in Assam has never faced that there is a drought-like situation. Water was not available was one thing, but complete drought-like situation during cultivation time, because most of our farmers do one-time cultivation. For second cultivation, we were not able to provide them the water. But this time, the first cultivation also did not get the water because rains were not there. So all these things we are considering. It will take time. We cannot improve upon things overnight. So say next 2 years, things will improve.
There are 2,038 functional irrigation schemes in Assam, yet a deficiency in rainfall in some of the districts have hit the productivity of crops this year, particularly paddy. The farmers of Kurwa village and Khaironi village have pointed out the absence of any help or support from the Irrigation Department and Agriculture Department to cultivate their crops this year. What lies ahead of us are unforeseen climate changes. But from our understanding of the entire farming situation in Assam, it is evident that there is a major communication lapse between the Agriculture Department and the Irrigation Department and their individual communication with the farmers at ground level. And only major reforms could relieve the farmers from their struggles with climate change and decreasing rainfall year after year.
Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to EastMojo. For any queries, put them down in the comments section below and press on the bell icon for notifications.